struggling for a breakthrough. Expect to see Sutton on the pitch in the second half. Ricardo there, who's saved from Henrik Larsson from the penalty spot. And Felipe Anunciação, who was sent off at the weekend in a Portuguese league game against Gil Vicente. The referee is Russian Valentin Ivanov. He handled the recent Champions League games involving Manchester United and Arsenal, and he likes a little yellow card or two. From Lithuania to Liverpool, Celtic have taken us on a thrill-a-minute European adventure. Anfield was difficult to beat, but remember Blackburn and Stuttgart and Vigo. Celtic have saved their best for the second legs, all of which in the UEFA Cup have been away from home. Let's hope that is a trend which continues. And they're facing here a Boavista side which is really struggling in domestic football. 12th in the league, only 6 teams beneath them in the Portuguese Superliga. They're not so super at the moment, 43 points behind the leaders, Porto. But they've produced in Europe, and a little club just one game away from a big match in Seville, Sandy.
It's a massive game for Boavista, no question about that. They've given up in the Portuguese league. Obviously there's John Hartson giving away an early free kick. He'll be so important today. I thought he caused Boavista lots of problems there at Celtic Park, and I'm sure he'll be looking for good service from Agat and Thompson down the wide areas.
Mario Loja on the ball and turned infield to Eder, the Brazilian who conceded the first leg penalty, which of course sadly Henrik Larsson went on to miss, or more appropriately have it staved by Boavista keeper Ricardo. Now if you're watching on digital, satellite or Freeview, you can hit the red button for enhanced coverage of the game. Foul given against John Hartson, and a lot for Celtic might depend on how this referee views the physical stuff which John Hartson always hands out.
That's going to be important, Rob. I think it's also important John Hartson's attitude after a free kick is given against him. If he shows far too much dissent to the referee will keep pulling him up for any infringement whatsoever. He's got to ignore him and just go and play the game.
Johan Mjalby manages to stop Pedro Santos. That's Santos again, who missed the first leg because of suspension. Stilian Petrov looking for Larsson, and Eder is there. That's Valharen. Good stretch from Petrov. Lennon to Hartson. Lovely flowing football from Celtic. Didier Agat, much might hinge on his performance. Celtic need him bursting down the flank, and they need him supplying good ball into the box. In from Lambert, awkward bouncing ball. And there is uncertainty about the Boavista defence. We saw it in the first leg.
Good pressure from Celtic as well. Henrik Larsson, John Hartson putting the defenders under pressure there, forcing them into the error to give away the throw in.
Lambert's throw, John Hartson's head flick, up went Henrik Larsson, and it's fired away by Martelinho. Back in from Valharen, and away again from Avalos. That's good covering from Bobo Balde. Sensed the threat there from Duda, and he's been a star man for Celtic, Balde, in this European run, as is Alan Thompson. 3 UEFA Cup goals from him already, including of course the ones in Stuttgart and Liverpool. Avalos, the Argentinian, who's walking a tightrope. He's had 4 yellows in Europe already. That means he's 1 more away from a suspension. And the Celtic pair who have to beware in the starting lineup, because they've received 2 yellows so far, are Thompson and Petrov. But at the moment, it's one purpose in mind for Celtic. That's to win the game and to head for Seville. A lot of work to be done. That was a dangerous header from Balde. Kept in by Duda. Silva. And that's a poor pass from Silva. If he played it early, there was a real opportunity for Erivan down the left side. He had a lot of room, a quick pass, a precise pass, and Celtic defence might well have been breached there.
I think it was Alan Thompson more than anybody else, Rob. It was a 50-50 ball with Duda, and Thompson lost out in that type of situation. You just can't afford that to happen. sure Martinelli's trying to get that message across to these players. They've got to win the ball in their own half.
That's hooked on by Erivan, one of several Brazilians, a real Brazilian blend about this Boavista team. Henrik Larsson did so well to keep that in, flicks it back for Didier Agat. Looking for Larsson again. Larsson lost his footing at a key moment, and Eder manages to make up the ground and fire the ball out of play.
I think that's the earlier incident we're watching there. Santos looking for a free kick. A good play from Didier Agat down the right hand side. He's made a decent start.
Martelinho clears, not very effectively, back in from Lennon. This time it's Avalos. Lambert to Hartson. Great screening of the ball from John Hartson. Petrov, Larsson, Thompson. 3 in the box. One is John Hartson. He was always stretching, always struggling to do anything with that. That was good possession and not far away from a good ball in.
It's great positional play from John Hartson. Alan Thompson just puts too much on the ball. John Hartson can't get there to knock it back across the 6-yard box.
Just a word about radio coverage. If you're having trouble picking up Radio Scotland, the match is on FM, not medium wave. In the unlikely event, of course, that you're not watching and listening with us on BBC television. Silva. Lennon intercepts his pass. Good quick feet from Agat. Gets it back from Lambert. It's all very tight to the touchline. Lennon plays it into the box. Henrik Larsson nipped in front of Eder. That's brilliant play from Larsson, and so unlucky he didn't get more on the cutback.
It's a good start from Celtic. They're playing the game in the Boavista half. Henrik Larsson so unlucky here. I think he's actually trying to get a corner kick more than anything else, trying to play the ball off of there. But just as we thought, Rob, Boavista, they're quite happy to sit in. Well, the game's at 0-0. They're still in pole position.
Johan Mjällby, who missed 4 months of the season with injury. Celtic miss him, he's a key man. And this man might be a key man as well, the referee, Mr. Ivanov. Erivan's pass, sting taken out of it by Lennon, then Lambert intercepted. Boavista haven't really been allowed to settle so far. That's part of the Celtic plan. And again, Johan Mjällby taking the safety first option. The ball down the line from Maria Loja.
Johan Mjällby reads the game so well. Very experienced player. Important part of the Celtic team.
Loja's throw. The layoff from Silva. Didn't quite come off for Pedro Santos. Thompson to Larsson, killed the ball instantly. Lovely layoff to Lambert. And Henrik Larsson on the ball again. He was pushed by Silva. No free kick. Agat in possession. That's not one of Lambert's better passes. But there he is to win it back with a crunching challenge against Erivan. Good tight marking from Mjällby on Silva, but Mr. Ivanov didn't fancy the challenge. Free kick given.
I think Silva goes down very easily here. Johan Mjällby's close to him, maybe just a fraction too close.
Loja with the free kick. Santos. And that was handball from Martelinho, who couldn't get there with his head.
Yeah, I think the referee's awarded the free kick. That's a silly one.
The left foot of Alan Thompson. Hartson, and Larsson had a real chance to get Celtic ahead. You expected that to be in the back of the net.
That's a great chance, Rob. It's so unlike Henrik Larsson. John Hartson causing havoc inside the box, and he's got a yard of space. He's got between the two defenders, and the one thing you've got to do, you've got to try and make the goalkeeper save it, hit the target, make him work. And he knows himself, he's disappointed with that one. He knows he should have made the goalkeeper do something.
It was a decent challenge though from Eder, who got across and got enough in front of Larsson just to take his eye off the chance. But immediately Larsson involved again, trying to get Stilian Petrov through the middle. And now the counter-attack with Boavista, and Pedro Santos is stopped by Bobo Baldi. Great interception. That's beyond Hartson, and it just finds its way through to Ricardo. Eder infield to Erivan. 27 is Pedrosa. That's a great challenge from Neil Lennon to win possession. Celtic playing with a real hunger, which they have to display if they want to see off the Portuguese opposition and take their place in the UEFA Cup final. There are real extremes here. If Celtic get to the final, it's a sensational season. If they lose here tonight, well, some would say their season is effectively over, so far behind in the title race, even with the Old Firm match to come at Ibrox on Sunday. A reminder that we've got a man of the match competition running throughout 0900 10 225. If your guess agrees with Sandy's, then you could win a new Game Boy SP. Ricardo's long kick out, and Silva won't catch that. Jos Valgaeren lets it go. Ricardo said to be interesting Manchester United. Jimmy Pacheco, the Boavista coach, in his 5th season with the club, and he led them to the Portuguese title 2 years ago, emerging from the shadow of the really big Portuguese sides, Porto, Benfica and Sporting Lisbon. Up goes Hartson with another good challenge. Didier Agat hesitated there, Mario Loja didn't. There's been very little attacking though so far from the home team. Long may that continue. Well,
that's right. Celtic have started the game fairly well. The one thing I would like to see, Rob, is just a little bit more support from the middle of the park to the two strikers. Stilian Petrov's the one that normally does that, but just a little bit deep at this moment.
Well, I thought John Hartson should have had a free kick the first time from Mr. Ivanov, but certainly gets it second time.
Yeah, there's no question that's a free kick. Such a strong guy, John Hartson. It's hard to defend against.
Baldi up to the edge of the area alongside Hartson, and Larsson. Out comes Ricardo, and a good take.
That's excellent goalkeeping. So confident, read the situation and just came and took command. Not the best of balls, to be fair, from Paul Lambert.
Duda. Agat's challenge, won the ball against Pedro Santos. He didn't like it. But that time it is a free kick against John Hartson, who's furious with the awards.
That's a great challenge, first of all, from Didier Agat. But John Hartson, as soon as the referee gives the free kick against him, he can't show the dissent that he's shown. He's going to put himself under pressure with a silly yellow card.
He was frustrated though about the Santos dive, which was fairly obvious, one would have thought, to embellish the effects of the challenge of Hartson. Larsson, with Hartson just behind him. Now Lambert and Lennon. That's a good pass, finds its way through to Henrik Larsson. Now Petrov, and he tried to chip that over the head of Martelinho, and then tried again, twice failed. I think Alan Thompson wanted that played to his feet.
He did. Petrov had more time than they realised, could have took a touch and then made the pass.
Mistake by Valgaeren, let in Silva. Yalby clears. Agat has a free kick, which doesn't go down too well with the home support, but you wouldn't expect it to.
Well, I think this is a free kick. You can see Didier Agat being pulled back there.
Pacheco's team reached the second phase of the Champions League last season. They went through with Liverpool. No doubting what they can do on the big stage. Baldi's free kick. John Hartson's jump. Larsson with the instant control. Back for Lambert. Early ball in for Alan Thompson. And Martelinho nipped in front of him, but at the expense of the first corner of the game.
Good play from Celtic. John Hartson again showing the strength, the power in the air to initially set up the pass for Lambert. And Alan Thompson could maybe have just gotten a bit earlier and attacked the ball at the back post.
In from Petrov. Balde tried to get his head to it, but it's in the safe hands of Ricardo.
It's one from his training ground. Stilian Petrov trying to find Bobo Balde near post. Just too much on the ball.
And Rob Douglas hasn't seen too much of the ball at the other end from Ricardo. It's the birthday boy, 31 today, and I think we know what he wants for his birthday. Another good challenge from Lambert, but he's hurt himself. Both players grounded, both in need of attention, and with a quarter of an hour goal, let's hear from Chick, who's just behind the Celtic dugouts.
Yeah, beside me, George Cadet, of course, who knows Celtic so well, who knows Portuguese football so well. George, what do you think of the opening 50 minutes or so?
I think the Boavista try pushing Celtic to don't let make the good attack and can score the goals in the first 15 minutes.
It's important, isn't it, if Celtic can just keep it calm and not lose a goal, maybe the fans here will get a little unsettled.
Yeah, because it's important to Celtic to score one goal, and to Boavista only don't take goals.
Let me put you in the spot. Do you think Celtic will go through tonight?
I think Boavista can take whole game to try pushing Celtic in back. Maybe more 20 minutes and Celtic will take the midfielder.
Thanks, George. A little problem there for Paul Lambert. Rob will give you an update on his condition just a moment or two right beside Martin Neal at the Celtic bench, but I think Lambert's okay. Yeah, sore one for Silva as well, sore one for Lambert, but so typical of the Celtic captain that his first reaction was to jump straight back to his feet. Then he realised he had a painful ankle knock, but it'll take a lot to keep Lambert out of this.
It's a good challenge for Paul Lambert, showing good leadership qualities. Henrik Larsson that time taking a knock.
The challenge from Avalos, the Argentinian defender. He's another man who doesn't want to see another yellow card because he's at 4 already in Europe, and he had 6 fouls given against him in the first leg of this tie. In from Alan Thompson, up goes Bobo Balde unchallenged. Stilian Petrov has the chance, took too long to get it under control. Lambert wide for a gap. That's a great ball in from Didier Agat. Ricardo chooses to punch. Celtic have it back with Lambert. Agat into the feet of John Hartson. Eder clears. Stilian Petrov had a real opportunity at the edge of the area, needed quicker control. And the chance was gone because he was very quickly then charged down.
Yeah, it was a chance for Petrov, but again, the aerial threat. This Petrov's chance here, just too long. His first touch wasn't the best, allowed the defenders to close him down to block the shot. But just before that, to create that opportunity, Bobo Balde, marvellous weight header inside the box again. The set pieces could be Celtic's route to victory tonight.
Ricardo's long kick out Balde there, and Lambert picks up the pieces in front of the Celtic defence. And under pressure from Loja. Knocks the ball out of play, and he's not moving freely, as you can see, after that clash with Silva. And that's played in far too close to the keeper, and an easy catch for Rob Douglas.
It's an easy ball for Big Rab. I'm pretty certain that Celtic will be quite happy at Boavista keep playing high, long balls forward. The big three at the back, plus a goalkeeper, are more than capable of coping.
Another free kick given against another challenge on John Hartson, and it was Luis Pedrosa who was climbing up on the Welshman's back.
I don't think he can have any complaints there, Pedrosa. John Hartson just holding his ground, the big defender over the top of him.
Interesting, Sandy, when I was looking at the statistic today for Stilian Petrov's goals, he's only scored twice in 2003, and maybe has got a little bit of a lack of confidence.
I think that's the way he's playing, Rob. He doesn't seem the bright personality he was earlier in the season. But there's so much at stake here, he's got to forget everything and have a real goal.
Another set-piece opportunity for Alan Thompson. Curled it in, looking for Johan Mjalby's run, but the ball skidded away from him. It's been raining today in Portugal, and the ball is liable to skid.
I think if Alan Thompson just puts a little bit more on the ball, plays it to the back post area, you don't have to score with the first header. Bobo Baldi showed earlier, he'll win the ball, he'll get it across the goals, and that's maybe the best chance of sticking it in the back of the net.
Baldi against Silva, only one winner. Now a Gats. It's a powerful run, but he overran it at the end. And it's out of Johan Mjalby and Boavista's throw. Pedro Santos, 2 red cards in the Superliga this season for him, and 3 yellow cards in Europe. And that looks to me like another bit of theatricals from Pedro Santos, winning a free kick given against Neil Lennon.
There certainly wasn't too much in it. Neil Lennon hasn't touched him at all. It's 8.9 for the dive in, isn't it? There's maybe just slight contact, but it's not deliberate. He
clipped his knee, but there was really no reason for him to go to ground there. Neil Lennon tells him something along those lines.
I don't think it's too complimentary.
The referee's got to get wise to these ploys from Boavista. The left foot of Pedrosa, and what a waste of a free kick.
I think the Grab will be happy with that one. He's never going to beat the big fella from there. As you say, it's a waste.
He fired it straight into that big banner behind Rob Douglas's goal, which is replacing the stand which used to be there, and in preparation for the new one, which is about to be completed in time for the European Championships next summer. Martelinho took too long in playing that pass. Stilian Petrov was very quickly on top of him. Martelinho again, this time Henrik Larsson closing down very quickly. Celtic playing the pressure game, and Jaime Pacheco on the bench there, the former Portuguese midfield star of the World Cup in '86. What's Martin O'Neill making of it all, Chick?
Well, he was raging about that last challenge, the free kick that Boavista got, Rob, but he's been pretty calm, just encouraging Neil Lennon just to sit in a little bit deeper. He's encouraging Didi Agat to get forward down the right side, but I think he's pretty satisfied with what he's seen in the opening spell from Celtic. Obviously need the goal, but he's been pretty calm, and that's not like him.
That'll change. Mjalby to Lennon. Stilian Petrov used this body so well to hold off the challenge of Anunsi Sao, and then wins the free kick. That's good play from Petrov.
That's much better, much more determination there from the Bulgarian. Determined to get there, gets in front of the defender, gets across him, forcing the free kick.
I mentioned Petrov's 2 goals in 2003. Of course, one of them was against Stuttgart, rather important. The 3rd goal that night at Celtic Park. Thompson to Larsson, got the head flick, in goes Jos Valharen. Wondering if he can get one in the right net, having flicked one past Rob Douglas 2 weeks back.
It's a good free kick again. Henrik Larsson wins the ball. Goalkeeper sharp off his line though.
That's a great turn by Duda, and he was away, and he was taken out, and Boavista have a free kick. He turned between Mjalby and Lambert there.
Good play from Duda, good touch, good strength. Mjalby doing the wise thing after the free kick. It's certainly a free kick, no doubt about that one, but Mjalby gets himself well out the road.
Celtic have been running the show in the first 25 minutes, and they don't want to lose their grip. Pedrosa takes a very lengthy run up, struck it fairly powerfully, but it was always rising too much for him, and Rob Douglas always looked pretty comfortable there.
It's very ambitious from Pedrosa. I would be very surprised if the Scottish international's goalkeeper loses a goal from that type of distance. It must be almost 40 yards out. It wasn't far away.
It's 29 years since Celtic were last in the European semi-finals. That was in the European Cup of 1974 against Atletico Madrid. And of course, you have to go 4 years further back for Celtic's last European final appearance. Can the history books be rewritten? Celtic have piled a lot of effort into the opening stages here in Portugal, and Boavista having to play second best so far, but it's still goalless, and the advantage still lies with Boavista, courtesy of the away goal they scored in Glasgow in the first leg.
Celtic don't have any option, Rob. They have to play this way. They have to continually push forward in the hope of scoring the important opening goal.
Spectacular overhead kick from Duda. It was Balde against Silva. The back heel, and again Johan Mjalby dispenses with any frills and just thumps the ball out of play.
Don't take any chances here. Paul Lambert's just catching Duda.
Erivan's ball into the box, headed away by Balde. Henrik Larsson, good play, holding off the challenge of Eder. And it's Celtic's throw. And the Boavista supporters pretty quiet so far. They haven't had an awful lot to shout about. Larsson using his body well against Eder, but he stretched out a boot to clear. Mjalby to Petrov. That's good control from Stilian Petrov. Poor pass that time from Mjalby, straight at Silva. Back from Martelinho to Ricardo, the current Portuguese #1. Big Phil fancies him over Vitor Baia. Jos Verhaeren, who wants to wipe away the memory of that own goal in the first leg. Looking for the shooting opportunity with Erivan. Verhaeren clears up to Larsson. It's well won by Pedrosa, and he's not shy, is he, at having a shot at goal?
He likes a shot, doesn't he? Good play from the big defender. Wins the ball in the middle of the park. Only one thought in his mind: I'm going to drive forward, take the space, and doesn't matter what distance he's out, he wants to have a goal.
Chick, what does George make of it all?
George, I was wondering what you think going through the mind of the Portuguese coach at the moment.
Jaime think about concentration and don't let the Celtic play the game, because if we let space to Larsson or to another player, maybe it's bad things to go happen.
That's the voice of George Cadet down at the touchline, the former Celtic striker, and he's recently declared his undying love for the club, and he got a little bit of treatment from the Boavista supporters pre-match as he made his way in. They're not too impressed. The former Portuguese international striker, of course. Larsson's touch. Lambert does well to move it on to Agat. Turns infield away from Duda. Now Petrov didn't get a good first touch. Erivan pushes forward, and it's good backtracking from Petrov, and it was Balde who intercepted. Celtic playing well, but needing a breakthrough. Looking for the goal, which changes the complexion of the tie. Mjalby looking for Hartson, but it didn't get that far. Balde this time. And not happy with the late challenge of Silva. And you have to remember as well that Jimmy Pacheco's side have finished off their UEFA Cup ties 4 out of 5 by a 1-0 scoreline on their home patch. Never much to spare, but they've managed it in their 5 UEFA Cup matches against Maccabi Tel Aviv, Anorthosis of Cyprus, PSG and Hertha, both those games on away goals, and then of course they beat Malaga in the quarter-finals on penalties. They've squeaked through, and they've done it 5 out of 5, and looking to make it 6 out of 6. Duda lays it back. high hanging cross is no great problem at all, and well might Maria Loja shake his head. It was poor.
They haven't caused Celtic a lot of problems at all. It was the same at Celtic Park. I just don't think they're a great team, Rob. Obviously, they're not in the same class as Liverpool, Stuttgart, Celta Vigo, Blackburn. It's Celtic, if they just get the break tonight, if they work hard enough, I'm pretty certain they can get the goal, and that might be enough to get them through.
The Boavista fans turning up the volume. They've been quiet, they've been kept quiet so far by Celtic. It's been a controlled performance from Martin O'Neill's team, looking for that little spark in front of goal. That's a desperate clearance from Pedro Santos. No great composure about Boavista at the moment. They're under the cosh, and there's maybe a sign too of a player not on hot form at the moment, Stilian Petrov, but Jimmy Pacheco has got problems with half an hour gone.
They can't get in the game, Rob. It's as simple as that. Celtic have stopped them playing, and Celtic they haven't created a lot of chances. I still feel that set pieces could be their best opportunity.
You're watching the big match live on BBC Scotland. We've been with Celtic virtually every step of the way, but Celtic may have a problem, Chick.
I think there's a problem with Paul Lambert. Martin O'Neill is just bringing on Chris Sutton. In fact, he's just confirmed that as he looked around there. As Chris Sutton went for a warm-up, they've got a problem in the middle of the park. Chris Sutton will be coming on, Rob, and I think it's Paul Lambert whose action in this game is over.
Well, maybe what Celtic need is more firepower, and Chris Sutton, I think, will be on within the next minute or two. And Paul Lambert has never really fully recovered from that tussle with Silva. And he took a knock on the ankle.
He's hobbling, Rob, there's no question about that, and it's a wise move. If he's not right, you've got to get him off. You've got to be at full strength for this game. And Chris Sutton, when he comes on, that's another aerial threat for the Portuguese to deal with.
Still not moving freely, Paul Lambert. But the mistakes being made in the midfield by Boavista, a lot of uncertainty about their performance so far. Not the fluency Jimmy Pacheco wants. Erivan squares it to Anunci Sao. Now Martelinho. Boavista threatening, and Johan Mjalby head flicked that to safety. And Celtic have successfully played the game up the pitch since the start, and they want to keep it that way. Paul Lambert flicks the ball out, and a shake of his hand towards Martin O'Neill confirms that his match is over, and Chris Sutton is getting himself ready for action. And if you have to lose Lambert, then you couldn't ask for a better quality replacement. That's a Gats. Lambert still involved, but he's becoming less and less mobile. And Celtic in a hurry to make the change, because at the moment they're carrying a passenger in Lambert. Duda against Valharen, and there was a push on Jos Valharen by the Brazilian, and it's a free kick. He's agitated, Martin O'Neill, because he wants to get the substitution made.
It's a silly challenge, Rob, from Duda there. Jos Valharen's under a lot of pressure from a coach's point of view. Ricardo feels the same thing. You just don't do that. You don't take the pressure off the defender by giving them that just little nudge. This man coming on, Chris Sutton, he'll create different problems for the Portuguese. It'll also mean a change for Stilian Petrov. That man there, Paul Lambert, he doesn't go off easily. He's been playing very well recently. He'll be a big loss, but hopefully Sutton will be the plus.
Chris Sutton has missed 6 games with a broken wrist. 17 goals already this season, and remember those all-important UEFA Cup goals, as we see how Paul Lambert was hurt prior to having to be substituted. Remember those Sutton goals against Blackburn and against Stuttgart. Both away from home, both vital. Martin O'Neill has made the change now. And at set pieces like this, Sutton adds to Celtic's scoring threat. In from Thompson, and it was aimed at Sutton. Boavista got it clear. Now with Duda, poor pass. Good cut out from Agat. But it wasn't the ball that Henrik Larsson wanted.
It's the final ball that's so important. Chris Sutton, we see him here getting involved right away. Maybe the plus is, oh, watch this, he falls right on that arm. That wrist has just been badly damaged. There's no reaction to it, so hopefully he's 100% fit now.
And Paul Lambert gets some ice on his right ankle. And one wonders, of course, at this moment whether Paul Lambert will have a chance of featuring on Sunday in the Old Firm match. He may well be a doubt for that already. Strong defending from Baldi. That was a gap, now Sutton. And Ince Sao with another aimless pass. There have been plenty of them in this first half from Boavista. Very unimpressive, we would have to say. But they do have striking power up front, and the two Brazilians, Duda and Silva, if they can get some supply to them. Duda on the ball, squares it, and the shot goes wide from Pedro Santos. It's sliced off the outside of his boots.
It was always going wide. Brad Douglas would have got there in time if necessary. That's the first real threat Boavista have caused Celtic. I just don't feel Rob they're a great team at all. You're saying they're not playing well, they're not fluent. That's because they don't really have great quality. They're strong, they're well organised, they're a decent team, and that's the best you can say about them.
It's a match Celtic should win if it's down to pure quality. But is it a match Celtic will win? They need a goal. That's got to be a foul for the challenge on Thompson. And of course more live football coming away this weekend. The big one at Ibrox, Rangers against Celtic. Can Celtic claw back 3 points, or will Rangers take another step towards the title? It's live on the BBC on Sunday from 12:20, BBC One Scotland. The big matches just keep on coming on this channel, be it BBC One or BBC Two. Martin O'Neill happy with the way his team has performed, but cautious as well about allowing Boavista back into it. They've been squeezed out of it completely so far.
The referee gives a free kick here. I really don't see much in that one at all. Silva thinks the referee's right.
The left foot of Eddie Van, and that's yet another poor delivery into the box from Boavista. Quite incredible. Duda and Silva really haven't had a look in so far, because Boavista have got nothing up to them.
There's no service to them. You know, as we said at the start of the game, Boavista, they're quite happy sitting with 5 defenders, making life difficult for Celtic. They're not too concerned at all about going forward. That's why the strikers have been very little to play with.
That's got to be a foul on Chris Sutton by Felipe Anuncisao, who was red carded at the weekend.
He's over the top of Sutton again there, Anuncisao. Arm in his back. It's a chance now to get the big guys up, get Bobo Baldi up. It's got to be a good ball from Neil Lennon, give him a chance to win the first ball.
Neil Lennon plays it in, looking for Chris Sutton, who was trying to wrestle himself clear. He was being held, not much doubt about that, in the penalty box. Valentin Ivanov wasn't interested.
I don't think the referee's ever going to give a penalty kick for that, Rob. The two of them are arms everywhere. Chris Sutton trying to take advantage, but it would have been soft if awarded.
Baldi won that header against Silva, as we take another angle on Chris Sutton's wrestling match with Anuncisao. I think there's a half Nelson they call that.
Well, I don't know, you might follow wrestling, I don't. But what amazes me is Bobo Baldi's so strong in the air. He goes up for all these set pieces and they don't play the ball to him for some reason. I don't know if it's maybe the decoy.
No free kick against a stiff challenge from Sutton. Eddie Van plays it in, and again it's beyond Silva and Duda. No great problem for Rob Douglas, but Boavista do have a problem with a player down injured, needing some treatment. We're in the 40th minute, and it's still 0-0 in the Boavista Stadium, and it's Pedrosa who'll need some attention. Let's hear from Chick.
I just wonder what George Cadet thinks of the game so far. George, how do you think this is progressing?
It's a game. It's like a midfield game. Always you can see the game play in the midfielder. Always so far from the goals. And, it's not easy to play like.
Will the Portuguese coach be happy with what he's seen from his team?
Yes, of course. It's a good score to the Boavista. 0-0. It's very good.
Thanks, George.
That's a good point from George Cadet, isn't it? Because Boavista might be getting outplayed by Celtic. The visitors are in control and running the show, if not creating enough chances, but the scoreline still favours the home team here.
It suits them, there's no doubt about that. And Ricardo, the goalkeeper, is Henrik Larsson's the only one that's looked as if he could cause him a problem. Shot from 6 yards, couldn't get on target, but other than that, it's 1 or 2 cross balls which he's dealt with without any real problem.
Lennon to Thompson. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, with Chris Sutton, Paul Lambert's replacement. Gets it again from Agat. 3 Boavista players swarming around Sutton, one of them Duda. Anunsi Sao tried to flick it between Agat and Sutton, then screamed for handball, not given. Long ball from Alan Thompson. Hartson chases it, Eder heads clear. Chris Sutton very quickly onto it, and that was a foul against Eddie Van as he lost possession. He tugged at the midfielder's shirt.
No question about this one. This is the earlier one handball maybe against Chris Sutton there. Just the one hand.
I think that's okay, isn't it? Under UEFA rules.
Yeah, but that's the free kick eventually against Eddie Van.
Here's another chance to see the telephone number for our Man of the Match competition, 0900 10 225. You could win a new Game Boy SP. Who's going to be the man of the match? Balde's powerful header clear. Now with Anunsi Sao. And it's flicked on to Martelinho. Long cross, and it's too long for the 2 Brazilians in the middle.
Easy one for Big Rab to come and collect. Under no pressure whatsoever. Again, it's back to the quality of the delivery. Very poor.
Petrov. Balde. It's beyond John Hartson. Eder with time to clear it. But Celtic have had the lion's share of the possession, and every loose ball in the midfield seems to have been theirs. Agat hasn't had one of his famous runs down the right, looking for him to use his power and his pace, and it hasn't happened often enough, Sandy.
He started the game well, Rob, but he hasn't seen an awful lot of the ball since then. That's frustration from Didier Agat. But give the Portuguese credit from that angle, but they try to stop Celtic getting down the wide areas.
Mistake by Jos Valhaeren. Martelinho makes a great run beyond Balde. Silva in the middle. Rob Douglas makes the save. Balde picks up the pieces, and that was almost a classic sucker punch.
It's the first time Celtic have been under pressure. It's close to the slip. It's a decent ball from Martelinho.
And I wonder how much encouragement that will offer to Boavista. Anunsi Sao kept out by Lennon. Just 2 minutes of regulation time left in this first half. Martelinho gets it back. Alan Thompson got himself in the way. Eddie Van in central midfield. Mario Olosha. Duda. Holding off Mjalby. Eder. This is the furthest forward he's been. And it was an all-consuming challenge from Johan Mjalby, which the Boavista striker didn't care for too much, but what a good run, a lung-bursting run from Martelinho, and Silva's header looked goal-bound when Rob Douglas made the save.
It's a hard one for to defend against, and Silva just gets a touch to it. grab Douglas, keep his eye on the ball, managing to get there. But no backup from the Portuguese after Douglas touches the ball. Not a bit late there from Johan Mialbi, but I think the ball was out of the field of play before the tackle was made.
What's your assessment of the first half, Sandy?
I think Martin will be reasonably happy, Rob, with the way his team have played, but they haven't created enough clear-cut chances. They've had lots of possession, dominated the game for spells, don't look as if they're going to lose anything, but at this moment in time really don't look as if they're going to score either. So they've just got to up the pace a little bit more care with the final pass, a little bit more penetration if they're going to get the elusive opening goal.
Celtic need a little bit more invention, a few more ideas, a little bit more spark in the final third if they're to break the deadlock, as they must do here, because don't forget, a 0-0 scoreline takes Boavista through to the UEFA Cup final. So far they have successfully held out, and we've played 45 minutes. Into stoppage time at the end of this first half, and one last chance for Alan Thompson to get the ball into the box, but that's not his best effort. We've added 25 seconds to the 45 minutes at the moment, and a minute and a half left of the first half. Lennon fires it towards the penalty box, but Pedrosa was there. Now it's Pedro Santos. It's a great run from Santos. And finally, Neil Lennon gets himself in the way. That was terrific covering from Lennon, as Santos threatened to go all the way. Chris Sutton's pass, Henrik Larsson's after it, and Adair takes a dive, looking for the free kick.
I think he's got the free kick. Great run here from Santos, goes beyond the Celtic defenders, real pace, power. He's unlucky, stumbles just a little bit there, allowing Neil Lennon the chance to come across and sweep up danger. Not a lot of touch there from Henrik Larsson. Adair certainly came down very easily.
Yeah, Jimmy Pacheco's team know all about turning it on to win a free kick, and they've done it with fair regularity, and Valentin Ivanov has been taken in seemingly every time. Mialbi down the line, and no great frills about that either, as we look again at Mialbi's aerial tussle with Silva, who didn't get off the ground. Johan Mialbi certainly did, and he's now wearing the captain's armband, of course, in Paul Lambert's absence. Half-time in Oporto, and still goalless, which pleases Jamie Pacheco. The scoreline satisfying for Ricardo and company, if not the performance. Henrik Larsson had a chance on 9 minutes to fire Celtic in front. That was the best chance of the first half. Chris Sutton had a placement for the injured Paul Lambert. 0-0 halfway through.
Yes, and it's just as difficult as 45 minutes. Let's go back live and rejoin Sandy and Rob.
A lot of excitement currently among football fans in Portugal, looking forward to the finals of the European Championships next summer. The national team beat Brazil last month, and they hope it will be an all-Portuguese final of the UEFA Cup. John Hartson and Henrik Larsson and Chris Sutton all hope otherwise, but never before have two teams from the one city appeared in a European final. Boavista will feel, with one look at the scoreline, that they are halfway there, and of course Porto that huge advantage against Lazio in the other semi-final. Celtic need a goal, they have to go for it, and they need to begin again creating chances. They were a big threat early on in the first half with the link-up between Hartson and Larsson, but first half fizzled out really in terms of chances created.
It did, Rob, and Celtic got to start the second half the right way. As the lads in the studio were saying, they really have to go for it.
And that's dodgy defending, which almost let in Boavista right after the restart. Mjällby and Valharen both looking uncertain, and that was almost costly.
It's unusual for the Celtic back players to get put under pressure. That's the first time they've been closed down, and they didn't look too comfortable. Probably caught by surprise more than anything else.
There's a lot of tension in the air, not surprisingly, with so much at stake here. In goes Larsson, out comes Ricardo.
He's a good goalkeeper, Ricardo. He's very sharp off his line, looks so confident. And how important can that penalty kick save be at Celtic Park 2 weeks ago?
It could have been 2-1 Celtic, but Ricardo's save from Larsson meant it was 1-1 after that first leg. And that was Ricardo's 4th penalty save in this UEFA Cup campaign, which is quite incredible. Of course, he saved one against Malaga in the penalty shootout in the quarter-finals, and being a bit of a novelty goalkeeper, he scored one as well. Marcelinho's pass for Duda, trying to skip away from Valharen. He got a decent ball in, and Balde intercepted before Valharen cleared. Larsson's header. That was Pedrosa against Hartson. Free kick given against the Celtic striker. The referee not happy that he was allegedly backing into Pedrosa.
I don't think Pedrosa's too happy either. But Boavista Rob have started the second half very well. They played the Celtic half for the first time in the game. They put Celtic under just a little bit more pressure. You wonder if that's their game plan, try and press the game further up the field and not allow Celtic to get forward and create any opportunities.
I wouldn't fancy taking a poor performance into the dressing room and facing up to that man. Jimmy Pacheco can get himself very angry and upset on the touchline, and he communicates to his players all right. Free kick against Luis Pedrosa for his challenge on Alan Thompson.
That's the earlier one, John Hartson, Marcelino. Alan Thompson's a little bit fortunate there to get the free kick.
Thompson towards Hartson. Two Boavista players went for it. In came Bobo Balde. Now a Gats loses it. Erivan clears, not too bothered about where it went. He just thumped it down into the Celtic half. Better touch from a Gats, and he might well have done some damage there to the home team. Chris Sutton, the substitute. Erivan shut him down quickly. That's good defending from Bobo Balde. The Celtic supporters hoping for one of their biggest ever party nights if their team can reach a European final. Mr. Ivanov gives a free kick against Henrik Larsson.
That was a chance for the ball, and Unsasawa as this Henrik just catches him a fraction before he makes contact with the ball there. But again, it's a bit dramatic the way he's gone down.
Yep, best supporting actor nominations coming up. Unsasawa will be high on the list.
I think it suits Boavista to stop the game as often as possible. Don't let Celtic get into a rhythm. That'll be part of the game plan. Eder's
free kick headed away by Mjällby, and Sutton was unceremoniously knocked over by Pedrosa. A three-pronged attack to aim at for Balde. Plays it wide for John Hartson. Celtic have the throw off Pedrosa. Celtic looking to lift their support. Valharen's throw. Chris Sutton couldn't get there before Avalos.
The one thing about Boavista, Rob, they do defend the penalty box very well. They attack the ball inside the box.
Another throw from Valharen. And it's cleared by Marcelinho. Silva, but the whistle's already gone. The Brazilian claiming he didn't hear it. He is a definite threat to Celtic with 5 European goals already this season, as Ricardo punched clear off the top of the head of Chris Sutton, and there was Silva backing into Mjällby.
It looks a decent player, Rob. Good pace, good first touch at the time, strong.
Balde not put off by Silva jumping into him. Larsson's layoff, Sutton, Agat, Petrov. You get the feeling Didier Agat needs an injection of confidence.
I think he's not allowed to go down the outside, Rob. I think the plan from Boavista is to show him inside all the time.
Clever pass, picks out Duda. Valharan is there to block. Thompson's header is dangerous, but Neil Lennon clears. It was into a dangerous area from Thompson. Dangerous for Celtic. Valharan cuts out the through ball. Lennon to Sutton, can't make it stick. Now Boavista on the attack with Duda. What a poor ball into the box that is, because Anunsi Sao was outside him. Silva wanted it whipped into his feet. It was neither.
He picked the wrong option. Certainly a handball there. That's a break for Boavista. The referee obviously didn't see that one. Picked the wrong option from Duda.
It's maybe not Duda's day.
I wonder how long that would take.
The stopwatch was on, and it shows us here that there's 7.5 minutes gone in the second half, and it's still advantage to Jimmy Pacheco's team. 1-1 in Glasgow, 0-0 so far in Portugal. Chris Sutton wasn't sure where that was. Does well to keep it. Now with Agat. He was looking for the option of the square pass. No one was there to receive it.
He had nowhere to go, Rob. He was forced inside again. And beside all the white jerseys, makes life difficult for him. But this is the ball in from Duda. Picked the wrong option. And Anunsi Sao's going down the right-hand side. Silva had come back a little bit just to play across the 18-yard box. A little bit of disagreement between the Brazilians there.
That's Pedro Santos probing at the Celtic defence. First it was Balde, then Mjällby, and it's Boavista's throw.
I feel as well, Rob, Celtic have to settle down a little bit. Put the foot, they need somebody to put the foot in the ball and make a pass. You know, a telling pass going forward, a wee bit of creativity.
No free kick, despite the roars from the Boavista fans. That's Eder, Sutton, Lennon. Now Valharan. Poor pass. Does well to win it back. Atones for his header. And now he's charging forward. That was unlikely to unlock the Boavista defence. And Celtic certainly need that composure, that calmness. Here's John Hartson. Chris Sutton, almost for Hartson, and almost for Valharan, who'd stayed forward.
Valharan almost getting a break there, just on the edge of the box. Pedrosa just getting there in time to clear the danger. But you're right, Rob, but just that final pass again, Valharan breaking through earlier. Really wasn't too sure what to do, gave the ball away.
The biggest of prizes awaits the winners. Sutton flicks it in for Larsson, out comes Ricardo. That's commanding goalkeeping.
The goalkeeper makes up his mind. This is the earlier one here. Useful Valharan almost picking up the ball, but that's a great tackle from Pedrosa.
Mjällby's under pressure, but Silva was struggling to get there and did well to hook that away. Duda was there as well, and Mjällby came out on top.
He was very determined there, Johan Mjällby. Had to be, under a lot of pressure.
Valharan has knocked that straight out of play. Don't forget our man of the match competition, 0900 10 200 25. A new Game Boy SP is the prize, if your choice agrees with Sandy's a few minutes from time up. let's hope by then Celtic have scored a goal. They need one badly, they have to score, otherwise their European adventure is over. Let's hear from Chick.
What's happened here, Rob, is that Boavista have taken away all the spare balls, the ball boys, and Celtic are playing with one ball, and a complaint has been sent from John Robertson to the fourth official that the Portuguese have just played with one ball now, obviously a time-wasting operation, and he's registered a complaint with the fourth official.
Okay, so that's adding to your knowledge, that's happening away from the match action, and Celtic want something done about it. O'Neill, Robertson and Walford. Martin O'Neill, of course, a European Cup winner with Nottingham Forest back in 1980 when Forest beat Hamburg in Madrid. Petrov. How you want Stilian Petrov to recapture his vintage form. That's good defending against Larsson from Avalos. Poor ball out from defence though, and Baldi intercepted. That's an ordinary pass from Valharan, which might have him in trouble against this Boavista counter-attack. Duda, Silva, and that's well off target. That doesn't even hit the corner flag.
I'm not too sure if that's a shot or a cross there. Mario Loja was certainly getting down the left-hand side, but the Celtic fans don't look too happy at this moment in time, and their team are not playing well. It's as simple as that. For me, there's too many long, high, hopeful balls being played forward. They've got to make the pass just a bit crisper, get it through in the middle of the park, give the strikers a bit of service, and give them good backup.
There could be a lot of nail nibbling to be done between now and the final whistle, because this match is so delicately balanced. At the moment, it's Jos Valharen's own goal in the first leg, which would be decisive were neither team to score here. That's what Jamie Pacheco would settle for happily. Martin O'Neill wants a different scoreline from the second leg. He wants his team to regain the upper hand they had in the first half. He wants them to create chances, but there is noticeably confidence lacking among some of the players. Sutton's pass this time is cut out. Charging back to try to win it back. Duda on the byline. Great ball in. Rob Douglas makes a mistake. And what an opportunity for Boavista to close Celtic out. It was Silva with the golden chance.
It's a magnificent opportunity. Rob Douglas just doesn't get there. Actually helps the Portuguese because he touches the ball on, and Johan Mialbi just hits him more than anything else. Douglas plays it to the striker. He gets it on target. And Johan Mialbi just touches it around the post. It's a let off for Celtic.
Rob Douglas went for it and didn't get enough on it. The corner kick fired in, John Hartson's headed away. Anuncio squares it, it's beyond Pedrosa. And that's a free kick for a late challenge from Agat on Pedro Santos. And there's a ruck of players with a difference of opinion. And Agat has been booked, he's been yellow carded.
It's very dramatic to see the least from Santos. The guy's trying to get the ball, doesn't get there. There's very little contact made. Okay, maybe a free kick, but Santos again certainly makes the best of it.
It's the first yellow card of the match, and I didn't see any great reason for that, to be honest. But let's get George Cadet's latest assessment on what's happening here.
Yeah, George, into the second half, what do you think? Change your thoughts since half time? And first of all, what do you think of that foul there?
Yeah, it's not foul because Agat don't touch in the Boavista player. But Celtic, if want to win, need to make some chance. But I don't see the left side Celtic play, only the right side, and you have two men in the Thompson in the left, and you have Petrov is not playing very well today, and you have in the bench a fantastic player, Maloney.
Yeah, Maloney maybe can run at some stage, Rob, but back to you for this free kick.
It's Luis Pedrosa who's over the ball. 4 in the box for Boavista, but it's the long-range shot. And it was struck by Avalos, but it's well off target, which is not what you could say about the earlier effort, which Rap Douglas touched away, but offered up the chance to Silva to score. And you saw from that latest replay just what an important touch that was from Johan Mjällby to deflect the ball the right side of the post for Celtic.
Well, that's what he's there for, big Mjällby. He is a good defender. Right place, right time after the slip from Rab Douglas. I wonder, just as George Cadet's saying there, I wonder how long it'll be before we see a change from Celtic's point of view. They need something, need a spark somewhere to get something going, to create an opportunity. It just isn't happening at this moment in time.
It's a nervy performance, this, isn't it, Sandy?
It's very nervy. It's uncharacteristic. They've played so well away from home, Celtic.
That's a good touch from Sutton to Petrov. Now Larsson has dropped off. Tries to play that in for the head of Hartson. Pedrosa cleared. Larsson does well to win it back, but it's unlucky for Celtic that it fell for Martelinho. And that's out before Duda could get there. In the other semi-final, it's still 0-0 in Rome between Lazio and Porto, and of course that's the scoreline, which means that as the minutes tick by, Porto are heading for the UEFA Cup final, 4-1 up from the first leg here in Portugal. Will they be joined by their city rivals in Seville on May the 21st? The current scoreline favours the home team. It's a huge opportunity, this, for Celtic. It's there for them if they want to take it, but they must start troubling the Boavista defence. They must start working Ricardo, the goalkeeper, because in the second half he's had very little to do.
There's nothing to do, Rob. It's as simple as that. And that's, you know, Celtic, they're trying to get down the flanks, down the wide areas. But Thompson and a guy, it's just not happening for them. See here, it's frustration from Johan Mjällby.
And Boavista are specialists in narrow scorelines, as I was saying in the first half. They've squeaked through quite a few times, winning 1-0 at home. 0-0 would do them on this occasion, and just occasionally tempers getting a little frayed. There's a lot to be played for here. What we would all give for Henrik Larsson's 40th goal of the season. Really, no one would be too bothered about who puts the ball behind Ricardo, as long as someone does.
It's a free kick, this one, Chris Sutton. Nancy just pushing him in the back. The referee's been given those awards all night. He's not going to change now. This has got to be an opportunity. They've got to try and find a Celtic player with the ball.
Alan Thompson, not with a great delivery, and that's a chance lost from the set piece. That's good work from Stilian Petrov. Terrific cut out there. Neil Lennon immediately fires it up to Chris Sutton, but it's back with Boavista. Pedro Santos flicks it on, looking for Silva. It's a real waste of a free kick there, Sandy.
It's not the first time, and you know the delivery's got to be good. You've got to give the big guys a chance. Sutton, Bobo Balde, Mjällby, Valharan, they're all very good in the air. You've got to give them an opportunity to attack the ball.
Seems fairly obvious, doesn't it? There's 3 of them clustered together in the box. You've got to throw the ball in among them.
That's right. Early part of the game, Hartson was winning headers. Bobo Balde was up for set pieces, getting a little bit of joy. But since then, really, they haven't created a thing, Celtic.
You saw there the substitution board, which is about to be utilised by the home team. And striker Luis Claudio will come on. He started the first leg when Silva was surprisingly left out of the team, and here he is, ready for his introduction, and he is something of a super sub for Boavista. Frequently comes on and scores. Valharan so keen to make up for the own goal in the first leg. John Hartson felt he was being fouled as Neil Lennon rolled the ball towards him. Celtic with plenty of possession in this match. They couldn't have wanted for any more than they've had, but they really have to do something with it. They have to play with purpose. Balde for Larsson, knocks it down. Chris Sutton can't get there, and Unsi Sao does. Silva wins the throw, and there you see it's going to be Silva who will come off. It's going to be Brazilian for Brazilian. That could be useful for Martelinho. Neil Lennon's there, now Petrov, and Chris Sutton lays it off for Alan Thompson. Nice passing movement, ended by Eder's challenge on Larsson.
That's a great challenge from Eder. Henrik Larsson was trying to get beyond him, a good defending again.
Valharan won a good header. Erivan, and now Agat. Well, Celtic don't want Agat on the ball midway inside his own half. They want him to do some damage further down the pitch. Valharan's under pressure. Pedro Santos was snapping away at the heels of Valharan. John Hartson, great touch, good control. Holds off Pedrosa, and a good pass infield to Neil Lennon. Looking for options, one is Petrov. Heads into the penalty box, Stilian Petrov. And turned the ball back in, hoping Henrik Larsson might make a darting run towards the near post. Instead it trundled through to Ricardo.
It was hopeful more than anything else, Rob. He doesn't have anywhere to go here. He's forced into a situation, just playing a, hopefully for him, a lucky ball inside the box, and didn't get any kind of break at all.
I said early on, Sandy, that recently Celtic have won only 2 out of their last 8 games as Boavista prepare to make their change. There is a lack of confidence, isn't there, about a lot of the Celtic players?
You can see that, Rob. They're normally so bright going forward. They normally create lots of opportunities, but in this match they really haven't played that well at all. Not creating chances is really not good enough. They've got to score a goal if they're going to get to the final, and they have to try and lift the pace, lift the tempo in the closing part of the game. But the one thing about Boavista, they're working so hard. Every single player in the white jersey tonight is giving it everything they've got, and they're desperate not to let Celtic in.
Luis Claudio is on for Silva, and he's the man who scored the equaliser against Malaga in the quarter-finals. That match ending up with a penalty shootout which Boavista won. Larsson piling in the effort to try to get Celtic the result they so desperately need, but that's possession given away again. Duda lays it off for Santos. Martelinho, good ball in, and a good take by Rob Douglas as the substitute Luis Claudio made a great run towards it.
That's a great delivery into the box. The ball, asking to attack the ball here, and Claudio tries to get there. Big Rab does exceptionally well. Both hands on the ball.
Thompson's throw, Chris Sutton was being held, and I just wonder if there's any likelihood of the referee producing a yellow card for a Boavista player. They've been doing an awful lot of shirt tugging, and there is action too down in the Celtic technical area, and we'll hear about that in a second once the free kick has been taken. But Momo Sila certainly is out of the dugout and warming up underneath us. And Johan Mjalby is over, getting some treatment. Stilian Petrov plays it in. Alan Thompson! Brilliant strike, and it was deflected wide.
That's a great hit from Alan Thompson, controlled. It's a good ball in. Best delivery for a while from Celtic, and Thompson catches this really well. He's unfortunate. Deflection taking it just past the post, but better from Celtic.
Five in the box for Stilian Petrov's delivery. Ricardo punches. Onto it is Agat. Lofts it quickly back in, and an offside flag means further frustration for Celtic. Let's hear from Chick.
Well, Johan Nabi saw there just a moment or two. He's had trouble with a contact lens, believe it or not. He's got that sorted. He's back on the park now in his central defensive position. But also, to tell you that Celtic are thinking about making a change. Momo Sila will be introduced, presumably for a Gat, and Celtic tried to step up the pace. And George Cadet beside me just tell me he thinks Boavista now will sit in and set up for this 0-0.
Yeah, suits them the way things are. Celtic have to change it. Sutton, Thompson on the ball. Now Lennon. Needed too much time, Neil Lennon. Luis Claudio slid the ball away from him. Balde. That's a mistake by Bobo Balde. And Johan Mjällby wins it back for Celtic. Now Petrov. It's a good burst of pace from Stilian Petrov. Great run. Finally stopped, but he did get beyond 3 Boavista players. And Celtic need Petrov to get ahead of the strikers and to provide other options.
You need that type of determination, Rob. They have to lift the pace of the game. They have to take a chance and take people on and drive at defenders. Boavista, we keep saying they are a good defensive team. They're well organised, not great going forward, not too creative, but you have to upset their defence to get some joy from them.
Johan Mjällby furious about the free kick being given as he put Pedro Santos on the deck. Pedrosa plays it in, Balde heads it clear. Eder to Martelinho. That's Valhaden winning a good header. And Chris Sutton's touch not quite there. And fairly obviously, Chris Sutton is way below full match sharpness.
You can say that, Rob. He hasn't really. His touch hasn't been great tonight. And that plaster bandage, whatever it is, it's on his arm. That doesn't help your balance either. That makes life more difficult for him.
As you saw there, Jamie Smith is going to be the player to come on for Celtic. Martin O'Neill's had a change of mind. Momo Sila was set to be brought into the action, but now it's going to be Jamie Smith instead. Felipe Anuncisao gets it back from Mario Loja. Good backtracking from Neil Lennon, and Smith wants on. Boavista were optimistically putting the ball down at the corner flag, but it is a throw. Mario Loja. Duda's overhead kick. No one there for Boavista. Rab Douglas there for Celtic. It's getting to that stage where your eyes are darting up to the top corner of the screen pretty regularly. And we've played nearly 74 minutes. Not much more than a quarter of an hour left. And that is a wild lunge by Avalos on Larsson. Thankfully Henrik is quickly back to his feet. And a yellow card shown to the Argentinian defender.
It's a shocking tackle.
It's Jos Valhaden who is coming off. Jamie Smith on. And if there was any doubt that Celtic were going for it, that substitution tells you what you need to know. Defender off and attacking player on. Can Celtic make this set piece count? Nope. Poor delivery from Petrov, and there have been too many of them.
It was a poor ball again from Stilian Petrov. You've got to be the first man. Easy for the Portuguese to defend it. But Jamie Smith, we see him there. I think he'll play down the left-hand side. Alan Thompson's going to play central, and Neil Lennon's going to play in the back three. Interesting change from Martin O'Neill.
It's been some season for Jamie Smith. He's won his first full Scotland cap, and can he be influential here for Celtic? Duda forces that in. Balde. Thompson clears. Anuncisao stretches his right leg out to turn the ball out of play. Boavista They're working hard to try to reach the UEFA Cup final. They're not a hugely talented side. We know that from the first leg, but what they are is very organised, and they play with a lot of passion for Pacheco.
They're very well organised defensively, Rob. 5 across the back, 3 across the middle of the park, and they all get behind the ball, deny space, which makes it difficult to score against them.
But Celtic have beaten better teams. A lapse in concentration there from Mialbi. Duda off and running. Luis Claudio in the middle. Neil Lennon delays Duda. Martelinho. Luis Claudio, his shot came off his teammates and that took the sting out of it on its way through to Rab Douglas. It was Martelinho who unwittingly got a touch on the shot from Claudio. Chris Sutton loses out to Eder. Mialbi plays it in. John Hartson trying to get on the end of it. Mistake by Martelinho, but he recovers well, and well, that's a dive. A delayed reaction from Martelinho, but he's got his free kick.
That's what he's looking for. The slightest touch and he's down. What do you hear? There's hardly any contact whatsoever. In fact, there's no contact whatsoever. I can't believe the Russian referee doesn't see that.
He was a couple of seconds late in hitting the deck, but referee Ivanov again taken in. Ricardo's kick and an offside flag. It's your last chance to enter the man of the match competition. 0900 10 200 25. Celtic need a man of the match. Mialbi to Sutton. That's a good layoff. Larsson with the reverse pass for Hartson. Henrik Larsson again! Larsson has scored! And is that the goal which takes Celtic to the UEFA Cup final? It's Larsson's 40th goal of the season. It's 2-1 Celtic overall.
It's great play from Henrik Larsson. It's just that sparkle we're talking about. It had to come, it's come from Larsson again. John Hartson plays a big part in this as well, but Henrik Larsson was so determined there. Great run from Hartson. They get the break here, that's what it's all about. And don't panic, Henrik Larsson didn't catch it properly, but sometimes that's the way it ends up in the back of the net.
He may have been thwarted by Ricardo in the first leg, but the Boavista keeper could do nothing this time. He got a hand to the shot from Larsson, but all he could do was deflect it into the corner. It was a wonderful quick hit from Larsson. It's 40 goals for the season, and that one is dynamite for his team. Now Celtic want to see this out, and the clock, which was going pretty quickly, will undoubtedly now slow down. We're in the 80th minute. Boavista want to make a change, and they now have to change their approach. They now need a goal to take this match into extra time.
Sorry Rob, Martin O'Neill's also changed these tactics. Right away he's got Chris Sutton back to centre back and Neil Lennon back in the middle of the park. Happy man, John Robertson and Martin O'Neill. Chris Sutton's now going to play centre back. I think Martin O'Neill just wants to close the door.
What a wonderful goal by Larsson that was. It's Erivan off, and it's Josi Valter, the Brazilian attacking midfielder, who comes on. But their approach most of the evening has been one of containment. Can they now change the script?
Well, it may well suit Celtic now, Rob. They like to play in the counter-attack. They're going to have to defend well now for the last 10 minutes or so, but they could well catch the Portuguese again in the break. They have to give everything now. They have to commit people forward.
Just 12 minutes from time. That's Larsson goal. It's 2-1 Celtic on aggregate. And John Hartson wants to keep his cool at this stage. He doesn't want to pick up a yellow card. Well, we saw Martin O'Neill breaking his own record for leaps in the air to celebrate goals there. That was a big one. Ricardo into the penalty box. Up goes Baldi. And it's a free kick to Celtic, and we all breathe a little easier. And Chick has been watching Martin O'Neill's reaction to that goal.
Well, remember I said at the start of the game he was very calm and collected. That's absolute history now. He's going absolute nuts down here in the technical area. And I tell you, this is a shout at Jamie Smith to sit in at left back. We talked about Boavista sitting in. George Cadet was going to say that to me, but George, you must think that this game has turned Celtic's way.
I start thinking before the goal, if Celtic don't score the last 10 minutes, Boavista go in the final. But Larsson scored. Now it's more easy, and if it's important, if Celtic don't let Boavista take the ball and pushing the Boavista in the midfielder Boavista.
Thanks, George.
10 goals in 11 European ties this season for Henrik Larsson. It is phenomenal. His 27th European goal in all, his 197th Celtic goal in less than 250 matches, his 40th goal of the season. How valuable is that? Well, it's only valuable if Celtic can see their way through the closing minutes, and having got the advantage and got the edge over Boavista, Celtic need to stay in charge.
They've got to stay composed now. That type of ball down the middle, you would think the big three central defenders would handle that really well.
And mistakes like that from Boavista are most welcome for the Celtic supporters, who greeted it with delight. Pacheco plans another change. It's still 0-0, incidentally, in Rome, and Porto clearly heading towards the UEFA Cup final, barring a miracle from Lazio. And, well, Celtic-Porto sounds good for Seville on the 21st of May, but don't throw things at the telly, because I know we've still got a way to go.
I'm just looking at the Boavista team, Rob. The body language isn't good. They don't seem to be able to adjust, to change. They've got to play a different way now. I just don't think they're capable of doing that.
Duda's layoff. Pedro Santos tries to get there. That was an unconventional challenge on Didier Agat as the rain comes down in Oporto. And the Celtic fans will have a whale of a party tonight if Celtic can finish the job here. Yuri is the player to come on for Boavista. And it's Pedrosa who sacrificed at this stage. 20-year-old winger Yuri, and Pacheco wants his team to throw everything at Celtic in these closing stages to try to take the match onwards. John Hartson's the target, and very nearly got that under control.
He's unlucky, John Hartson. It's a good ball forward. Man v man at the back for Boavista. Henrik Larsson, John Hartson, 2v2. Goes Alan Thompson to try to win it. Martelinho. And towards Luis Claudio at the near post. It's gone behind without a touch from the Celtic player. That's a goal kick. It's a great defender from Bobo Baldi. Gets there first. Doesn't allow Claudio to get across in front of him where it becomes dangerous. There's a goal again. Doesn't catch it well, but how often do you see that type of shot ending up in there in the back of the net? You catch it well, the goalkeeper saves it, hits a post. Henrik Larsson's not too concerned. And you can almost see the black cloud above the head of Jimmy Pacheco as that ball ended up in the back of the net. What struck me about the goal, Sandy, was the speed with which Larsson got it in on goal, because he was just about to be closed down. That's right. It was, you know, if you watch it again, Rob, his first touch with his right foot is so good.
But Celtic don't want to make basic errors like that. And Johan Mjalby has picked up a yellow card, and he's conceded a free kick from which Boavista will hope to profit. I wonder if there's another twist in this tale. That was an unforced error from the skipper.
He's pulled him back, and it's a saw.
Inside the final 5 minutes, and there's a header which will get some reception from the Celtic fans as well. Neil Lennon it was doing the defending. Duda hooks the ball in, Rob Douglas chose to punch. It wasn't at all convincing, and Neil Lennon might well have just launched that away. Instead he flicked it to Mjalby, and now it's back with Boavista, who have the throw. And that was a strange decision from the goalkeeper to punch there rather than catch.
It's unusual. Big Ram normally comes and takes the ball at its highest point.
Eder is up in the area, so too is the other central defender, Avalos. Luis Claudio, did he use a hand to control that? Desperate measures in defence to get the ball behind. Petrov it was. It's taken short, it's taken quickly. Celtic caught napping. No penalty given for the challenge of Didier Agathe on Josie Walter. And you think there's some justice in that, because Boavista have been flinging themselves all over the pitch right from the start.
Rob, you took the words out of my mouth here. That's what happened. You dive so often. It may have been a penalty kick, it may not have been, but the referee made his mind up right away.
Martelinho's delivery, well, it was a cracker of a delivery, I thought, played up to Duda from Martelinho. And well, there you see the histrionics which we've come to expect. There was a little bit of contact from Didier Agathe, but the minute that Josie Walter flung himself to the ground looking for an Oscar, you just knew that Mr. Ivanov was going to wave away the claims. That thankfully was the outcome. Duda flicks it to Martelinho. That's another good delivery from him, and a much better bit of goalkeeping from Rob Douglas. Took the right decision that time. That's
better from the goalkeeper. Made his mind up, looked nice and confident. The ball was always going to be his.
Check, these are tense times down in that Celtic technical area.
Oh, you can cut it with a knife down here, Rob. They're going to make another change. Jackie McNamara coming in to shore up what I think will be the Alamo for the last few seconds here.
Balde loses it to Eder. That's a great challenge by Mjalby. And Eder with the shot, charged down by Stilian Petrov it was. Celtic throwing themselves at that. Mjalby was there as well. Duda. And that's deflected off Balde. Josie Walter's shot, corner kick. And I don't think I've got any fingernails left.
Celtic are under a little bit of pressure, but they're defending well. That was a great block from Stilian Petrov earlier. Bobo Balde stopping that shot.
In the 89th minute, Mjalby heads it away. Mario Loja looking for a corner kick, unsuccessful. Henrik Larsson let it go, and phew.
Good defender from Henrik Larsson. He works so hard. He's only had really two chances tonight. Stuck one in the back of the net.
Henrik Larsson, who was criticised by a lot of people after his penalty was saved in the first leg, even though he'd also scored in that game. Scores in most games. He scored again tonight, and well, you're just hoping against hope that it's the goal that takes Celtic to the UEFA Cup final. It's an offside against Larsson. The referee has seen it, and let's play go on. It's launched long. Eder, the central defender, has joined Luis Claudio in attack, and Boavista in the closing stage is taking route one.
They've no option. They've got to try and get the ball in the Celtic box and put them under pressure, but Celtic do normally defend that situation well.
Eder again the target for Ricardo. Chris Sutton climbing above him to head the ball away. That's good play from Alan Thompson, and that looked like a foul by Pedro Santos or John Hartson, but the ball's gone out of play anyway. There will be, wait for it, 4 minutes to be added. We've played 90, 4 to go, 4 between Celtic and the UEFA Cup final. Celtic need to keep the ball or launch it into the stand, one of the two.
Well, they can't score from there, that's for certain. Lots of spare balls about the pitch now.
Martelinho looks as dangerous to Celtic as anyone with his great deliveries into the box, but he doesn't get it back that time. from Yuri. Who's your man of the match? Make it quick.
Well, I tell you, there can only be one person, Rob. The goal is so important. He hasn't a lot of opportunity tonight, but Henrik Larsson, when the only chance in the second half came his way, he stuck the ball in the back of the net, and that alone is enough to make him a hero and also tonight's man of the match.
You always hope that quality counts in football matches, don't you? And if it was down to quality, it was always going to be Celtic. But it's been hard work, but finally it looks as if they're almost there.
It looks as if it's going to be rewarding, and that's what it's all about. We keep saying Celtic are the better team, but you've got to prove that by scoring goals, and Henrik Larsson's managed to do that.
Martin O'Neill wants that final whistle, and he wants maximum concentration from his team. Having got themselves into a winning position. That's a good challenge by Thompson and Martelinho. Martin O'Neill has even been screaming at Henrik Larsson to get back down the pitch to do some defending. Up goes Baldi, another important header. Whipped in towards Luis Claudio, and again it was Baldi dominating in his own penalty box. Celtic need full focus for the closing 2 minutes. Yuri looking for a chance to play the ball into the box. That seems for Duda, didn't get over the header. Jamie Smith was back doing some defending alongside Chris Sutton, and the header well off target.
It was well away from Duda, but Celtic are now doing to Boavista what Boavista were doing to Celtic for the first 78 minutes or so of this match. They're getting lots of bodies in behind the ball, making life difficult, no gaps to try and create an opportunity. And I've got to say Celtic are very good at doing that.
Martin O'Neill getting the ball back, but not doing it too quickly. Jackie McNamara still standing alongside O'Neill. A substitution is an option. Celtic not too much interested in tactics at this stage. But another substitution would spill some seconds. Ricardo again using route one. Baldi's header and Alan Thompson's left boot. Get the ball back down to the Boavista keeper. We're inside the final minutes. Ricardo again, Baldi again with the perfect response. That was Martelinho. Baldi. That's Petrov and forces the ball out. Boavista's throw. It's almost within touching distance. Chris Sutton this time. Martelinho's cross. Lennon was there, and the overhead kick goes over the top from Luis Claudio, and that should be it. He said hopefully.
It's got to be the last kick of the ball, but I was trying to say there, Bobo Baldi the last few minutes has been immense at the heart of that Celtic defence, winning every header.
I wouldn't mind a whistle, nor would Martin O'Neill, with this ball in the air from Rob Douglas. Celtic are through to the UEFA Cup final. It's the club's first European final for 33 years. 1970 was the last time Celtic were there, and it's Henrik Larsson's goal which has done it. He scored so many valuable goals in his 6 seasons with the club, but none more valuable than that one. 12 minutes from time, the clenched fist from Martin O'Neill tells all. It's another remarkable achievement for the Celtic manager, who has guided his team through to a European final. Larsson's 40th goal of the season is decisive in Oporto. And these are wonderful scenes. It was tense, it was twitchy, it was worrying at times. There was so much at stake. Celtic have played better, but who cares? The history books are rewritten in Portugal. Celtic are in the UEFA Cup final in Seville on the 21st of May, and we'll be there.
Absolutely fantastic, a wonderful result for Celtic and indeed for Scottish football. It was a long time coming, 12 minutes from the end. We're just beginning to wonder whether the great adventure had ended, that the spark had finally gone when Henrik Larsson, who else, scored a goal which means so much to Celtic. Celtic are in the final to play Porto on May the 21st. You'll see it here on BBC television. We're not leaving you either, because we're going to be over on BBC Two very shortly for more reflections on this fabulous night for Celtic and for Scotland. Let's get a quick reaction though from Paul and Gordon. Gordon, what do you reckon?
Well, congratulations to Celtic. It's a fantastic achievement. Not in terms of how they played tonight. The main thing was they got through. There's always a bottom line in cup football, and it's to go through to the final or through to the next round, and Celtic have done it tonight. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and briefly, Paul?
Well, adversity breeds character. They've gone into this game, really the form, 2 in 9, not one since Liverpool. Adversity breeds character. They've showed they've got that in abundance, and they've grinded out an absolutely magnificent result for Celtic, but globally, more importantly, for the future of Scottish football.
Absolutely. Terrific. Celtic are through, and they will play Porto in the UEFA Cup final next month. We're going to be over on BBC Two very shortly for more reaction to this result. We'll hopefully hear from Martin O'Neill and from some of the players involved in this terrific victory. But let's just leave you for the moment with some of the images of a night no Celtic fan will ever forget.
Can Celtic keep the dream alive, or will Rangers take the title? The Old Firm derby Sunday afternoon. Kick-off at 12:30, BBC One Scotland.
Well, Celtic are through to the final of the UEFA Cup with a 1-0 victory over Boavista tonight. It was a struggle for a long time. It looks as if they weren't going to make it, but finally Henrik Larsson got that goal, and what a vital goal it was too. Celtic through to their first European final since 1970, and a Scottish club will play in a European final for the first time since Dundee United reached the UEFA Cup final in 1987. Let's get the reaction of Martin O'Neill.
Martin, congratulations. I don't think I need any questions. I mean, how does it feel? We'll start with that.
It's fantastic, Chick. It's really great feeling. I mean, over the 2 games we deserved it. They were at home there. They were so negative. It was incredible. They were rolling down and they were going down, wasting time. And loads of times it came back to haunt them eventually. We needed the one chance. We needed a couple. I thought we needed to create maybe 3 or 4 in the second half to actually carve out one. But the one was enough, and that was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. We're in the final. We're in the final of the UEFA Cup.
You certainly are. You're not dreaming it. The details hardly seem important, but at one stage there, I saw you shouting for the balls, because I think Bob used to get rid of the balls just to slow things down and break up the spare balls at the side of the park.
Sorry?
The spare balls. I said John Robertson going out saying they have time-wasting tactics.
That's exactly right. After 15 minutes in the second half, all the balls disappeared. So we went up to the 4th official just to get the balls back on again. Remarkably, after we scored, the balls were going on 10 a penny then at that stage. Listen, in the heat of the moment, I'm absolutely delighted. I don't really know what to say. I'm delighted for everybody at the football club. I'm really especially delighted for the players, but the whole football club. You know, it's some first time in 29 years or whatever the case may be, and the people who have supported us tonight. And to be perfectly honest, the only people we could hear are supporters.
Yeah, you've gone through a few European highs in your time. This is up there with that.
Listen, yes, but it's about the players, isn't it? You know, about the players and the supporters. I've always said the game's about those who pay and those who play, you know, so it's terrific. Listen, don't get me wrong, I am delighted, man. I am absolutely thrilled to bits. Thrilled, and selfishly I'm thrilled for myself. I'm thrilled for John and Steve. Come up here. It's a magnificent effort, all told, but the whole backroom staff have just been wonderful.
No pressure, all you've got to do is go and win it now.
We're going to win it now. We'll go for it. We're not there to make up the numbers. It'll be a difficult game. How's it gone at the other one?
I think it's Porto. The last we heard it, I think it was 0-0 Porto.
No, Porto, we know how difficult it is. Listen, Chick, we're there. We'll think about it when we get there.
We'll enjoy that tonight.
Thank you
enjoy
very
tonight.
much.
Thanks,
really
Martin.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yes, and we look forward to being there with them. In the end, Paul, I think justice was done. I'm not being narrow-minded and Scottish here, but the team that wanted to play football won the match.
Absolutely, and they were a limited side. We knew they were physical, they were organised, they've got a good work ethic, good team ethic. You look at the nature of their results, not being particularly impressive at home, grinding out 1-0 results. That's not good enough for me to go to a UEFA competition. Celtic, they've played wonderfully well against top German clubs, Stuttgart, 2 massive Premiership clubs, Blackburn and Liverpool. Celta Vigo, top 3 Spanish side. They deserve to go through. The biggest injustice would have been had they not gone through, and O'Neill would have looked at it and thought, look at the quality of the opposition we've battered, and not to go through on our own merit. So I'm absolutely delighted for all concerned.
Yeah, I think it was Jockstein, and how appropriate we should mention his name, Gordon, who said sometimes you have to win football matches by getting out your boiler suit and just grafting for it, and that's what they did tonight. Yeah.
They did, and I think to give Celtic credit, I mean, Boavista are a pretty boring team, and they didn't deserve anything, and they're hard to play against. So if you want to play football, it's very difficult because all they're doing is sitting in. They're trying to go for a 0-0 at home, which is unbelievable. And I think they got what they deserved because, at the end up, they changed their style of play. They started to knock the ball forward. They started to do what Celtic were trying to do to them at Celtic Park, long balls in the box, trying to get the bits and pieces. They didn't deserve anything from it. And as Paul said, I agree with him there. It wasn't really about tonight getting to the final. It's about the fantastic results Celtic have had on the way to the final here, especially beating top-class opposition in Celta Vigo and Stuttgart, and obviously the 2 English clubs that they beat. So tonight would have been
injustice, wouldn't it, Gordon?
Yeah,
just for this one-off game would have been a grave injustice.
I think they'd have felt awful if they'd gone out to a team like Boavista.
Absolutely not. And as time goes on, nobody remembers how things go in semi-finals anyway. The bottom line is you're in the cup final, and down the line nobody will remember that this was an absolute rubbish game. The main thing was they got the all-important goal.
Yeah, and whatever happens in Seville on May the 21st, they're in a European final. Obviously we want them to go on and win it. I hear that we've got Neil Lennon, he's talking to Chick.
Neil, there must be some scene going on in that dressing room, is there not?
Yeah, it's pretty emotional at the minute, Chick. It's a fantastic feeling, and it's a lifetime ambition, probably for all the boys, and I thought we thoroughly deserved it on the night. We tried to make all the running, and they were breaking things up and diving as much as they could on that, so when the man turned up and scored again, it was just a fantastic feeling. Then we just had to hang on at the end.
Patience had to be the key for you there, didn't it? Because you began to look at the clock with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was very frustrating at first. The grass was a bit sticky and that out there, so the ball wasn't rolling as true as it normally would, but we stuck at it and got what we just rewards, really.
You've had your critics this season, Neil, but tonight, your tremendous performance. You fought your way through that, haven't you?
I feel like a boxer. He's taking all the punches and still standing. I've had it from everybody, press, death threats, a lot, you know what I mean. But this is a culmination of sticking in there, and the manager showed a lot of faith in me, and I'm delighted for him as well.
Yeah, and joined by Paul Lambert, who I think gave us 5 or 6 minutes for you. First of all, Paul, injury news. How bad is it, the ankle?
No, just in the tackle. I twisted it really, and it's kind of swollen up a wee bit. It's better to come off and let 11 guys that are fit to play.
You've got another game on Sunday, of course. I don't know if you probably forgot all about that tonight.
Yeah, no, this is the most important game for us of the season. And whatever happens on Sunday will happen, but the final in this one's the one you want.
You're the one with the European badge, Paul. What do you tell you now in the final? What will you have to tell the guys to go on and win it?
No, I don't think they'll realise what they've done until come that day. Once they're there, it'll just be fantastic. It'll be the game of their lives, and you never know, a one-off game, whoever it may be, Porto or Lazio, one-off game you can take anybody.
Yeah, I think we can confirm it as Porto you're playing in the final. Yeah. This journey home tonight, Neil, you're going by plane. I don't think you need an aircraft, will you?
I don't know. It's going to be a good crack on the way home, but can't have too many because, like you said, big game Sunday, so it's another one to look forward to.
And that Celtic support outside, Paul, tremendous. I know they're wanting you for a lap of honour. I don't know the police here are going to let you do it, but they've been fantastic.
Yeah, right throughout the tournament. They always say the way support is incredible, and tonight was exact same. They give us a full backing, but I thought the 2 games would definitely lift the full us.
In the game tonight, Paul, patience, as I just said to Neil, patience was the key for you. Did you sense frustration in the team? Perhaps the goal's not going to come. You didn't want to go out in a 0-0.
No, I think the way it started, I thought we started to dominate the game for the off, and we knew they weren't going to create much, they were going to sit in, and it was the same at Celtic Park. They sat in and sat in. It's very hard when you're hitting a brick wall at times, but all credit to the team, they've done well.
Congratulations to you both. There's a part in that dressing room. Expecting an invite.
Wonderful scenes in the Boavista Stadium in Oporto tonight. Celtic are in the UEFA Cup final, a 1-0 victory over Boavista, and they will play Porto in the final next month.
From him.